And we are off. Welcome, everybody. I don't have the reverb today, but we'll just go with it. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the GAJ Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Gerard, with my younger brother, Alex, and my younger adopted baby bro, JR. We are in all kinds of weird locations, and we're just here. We're here. Episode 13, boys. Lucky number 13. We're getting places. Couple things to kick off the. Let me make it so you guys can actually hear me. And then we'll put something in there to kind of set the mood, right? Right? I don't know what it's called. It's called Feeding the Ducks. We're gonna roll with it. But we were down to 2. We're back up to 3. So, welcome back, JR. JR, as we mentioned last week, is very much still a part of the team, and we are glad to have him back. We don't really know what we're going to talk about today, but one thing to mention is we are exactly one subscriber away from double digits. Exciting times. Through a chat with Alex, myself, and our younger sister, we still can't figure out who a few of those subscribers are. I mean, the 3 of us account for, I think, 5 of those subscriptions. Not gonna lie. Our sister makes 6, Ashley 7, and we don't know who 8 and 9 are, but they're out there, and we thank you. We are happy you're here. We'd love for you to say hi because we'd love to shout you out. And if you're watching this and you'd love to be that 10th subscriber and you're okay with it, we'd love for you to put a comment in on that, whichever episode you're watching, even if it's just a waving emoji, because we'd love to welcome you to the podcast and celebrate you as our 10th subscriber. So yeah, one away from double digits. Hoping to get there soon. We're going to break this particular episode out into a couple of segments, and I'm lucky enough to have these boys trust me with kind of just setting the tone for each and every week, whether that be bad or good. But we're going to start with a little bit of out and about. Johnny, how's your last couple of weeks been going? We've missed you. I know you've been working hard. Hopefully that's been going somewhat well. Anything else going on in the last 2 weeks for Mr. JR?
Not a whole lot, man. Just driving, trying to save up a little bit of money. I have a goal, like a savings goal. I'm trying to get to like 10 grand in the bank. And then
yeah, man, that's awesome.
Get out of the Lyft and drive rideshare thing because it's fun to do, but it's a grind for sure. And
yeah, it's definitely a hustle. And again, for those of you out there that aren't quite aware yet, all 3 of us have other obligations outside of the podcast. We'd love for this to become a full-time gig, but we're a ways away from that yet. So we do all have other career options. Other careers to partake in so that we can pay our bills. But, if you keep liking what we're doing and keep subscribing, maybe one day we can get there. We can get to being full-time podcasters a la Joe Rogan and Kill Tony, who I'm still starting to learn a little bit more about. But, one day everybody can dream, and we're going to keep going. I'm going to jump in on this a little bit, out and about. We kind of talked about last week. So, Jared, I don't know if you got a chance to check it out, but we talked a little bit about wedding planning. Because I obviously have something coming up in a year here, and Anybody that listened to the podcast last week knows that I was a day away upon that recording from heading out to the beautiful country of Costa Rica. So we spent about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days there. Beautiful country. I highly recommend. If you have an opportunity to go, do it. We kind of stayed on resort mainly because we had some things to get done, but I'm excited for Alex and JR to join me next year and check out the resort. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a large piece of property because rather than kind of like that hotel style vacation condominiums, the bungalows are spread out across a pretty large piece of property, which is really cool. It's hilly, so bring your walking shoes. Don't skip leg day. Your calves are going to burn if you walk. However, there are also shuttles that are just a phone call away. You just pick up the phone, dial 0, let them know you need a shuttle and kind of where you're trying to get to, and they're there within. I mean, there were a couple times we walked down the stairs and they're already waiting for us. So the shuttle's awesome. Shuttles are an air-conditioned van, or Alex, this is for you because I know the van, you're probably going to be helping mom out a little bit. The vans are air-conditioned, but they're a little bit hard to get into because you have to climb up. They also have golf carts available to come around and pick everybody up. So we got to enjoy the all-inclusive resort with, it's actually a private beach, but because of the way they're set up in the cove, I mean, it's a very quiet beach. Most of the traffic is going to be people staying on the resort. So it's awesome. You can jump in the water. The water's warm. You know, it's the Pacific Ocean water. It's warmer than, California. Alex, I remember getting in the water when we were in San Diego. Shoot, that was 5 years ago now. The water is significantly warmer in Costa Rica than it is in California, Southern California.
Yeah, the water out here comes down from Alaska, so it's going to be cold. But Costa Rica's down by the equator, or closer to the equator, so it should be
right.
Nice to heat up down there.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned it because I'll be completely honest. I fully expected it to be cold. Even our driver that shuttled us from the airport to the resort, the driver, and then even the guy the employee that checked us in told us that the water was cold, but us coming from the Midwest and just the U.S. in general, I mean, the water was plenty warm. It kind of felt like a lukewarm bath water, so it was awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see it. I don't want to get into it too much, but it's a beautiful resort. Once we get through the wedding, I think I'll share a little bit more about the resort, the name, location of it. With all the paparazzi that watches our show, I just don't want them, invading the wedding and taking unauthorized pictures and putting them all over Time Magazine. You know what I mean?
Did you pee in the ocean?
Oh, of course I did.
Nice.
Of course I
Warm
did.
that up even more.
Yeah. Got to do what you got to do. But yeah, you guys are gonna have fun. It's all inclusive. They have fire dancers. They have great drinks. I didn't drink a single beer because all the fruity drinks were absolutely delicious. Food is good. The beach is beautiful. Sand is soft. Not too much having to walk on shells. There's rocks. But yeah, very cool setting. I think we'll probably have a couple of more episodes kind of leading up to that because it's a year away. So I even think, our sister mentioned it in a family chat. We might have her on as one of our first guests before the end of the year. So that'll be exciting. We'll finally get a guest on the show. Probably wait till a little bit closer once we're into the real planning of the event. We'll get into that more. Alex, out and about. Last couple of weeks, I know you and I've talked, and you've been on the podcast. But anything new going on? How's the training going?
Well, we started a new football season, flag football season. I played out on the beach.
Nice.
Started with a new team, a lot of players that have never played before, or players that play on grass or play on turf, so they've never played in the sand, which is a totally different type of running. And so all they do is fall down, which is expected.
I bet they were gassed too.
They're gassed.
Sure,
new teams, so we're trying to figure out, how do we want to play defense? Who's good on offense? Who can throw the ball? And
what happened to your old team?
It's sad not to go back to them.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
From season to season, players fall off because they have other obligations or their schedule, and with summertime, something that's expected is that people go on vacation, so they're gonna miss some games. They're gonna be out of town during a couple weekends, so sometimes it's not even worth it for them to play.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've all been there, between career changes and family evolution. Sometimes it's just one of those things you got to kind of change, and it's a lot of things come at a higher priority. So totally get that. I've cut down on some softball this year. I'm missing a couple of games this session for this week and next week because I'm actually, if you haven't noticed behind me, I am not in my normal office. I'm actually in a hotel because I started with a new company, and I am in the hometown of the headquarters training for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, you'll be looking at this hotel room behind me for the next couple of weeks. Springfield, Missouri, if anybody out there is close by and has any suggestions on where I can eat, there's a whole bunch of Mexican joints, so I'm kind of played on the Mexican. Had a great burrito last night, great tacos today. Just trying to change it up. I just went ahead and went with Chick-fil-A tonight. So yeah, so cool, guys. So that's out and about. I might try and keep that in on a weekly basis, kind of talk about what's going on with us, and hopefully we'll have some exciting things to share, some weird experiences throughout the week and whatnot. And maybe we'll be cool enough one day to be out of the house just like Jason and Travis Kelce. But since we're not that cool yet, let's move on to the next segment, which I am going to call this week Weird News. I kind of just decided to squeeze this in because we're going to turn to JR on this one. We started talking about it, and I thought, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's share it with our audience, and maybe we can get some responses. Let me know what your thoughts are, even if it's just a joke, guys. It's a funny one. I'm going to let JR introduce it because he's the one who found the story and should get credit for it.
Dude, this is just ridiculous. You know how you scroll through Instagram or social media, TikTok, whatever, and you're just like mindless, brainless scrolling. Swipe. What is this? Well, I found one. Apparently, you know how like catalytic converters were getting stolen in California, and people were breaking
really all over the country,
and stealing like all your stuff, and copper theft was a big thing. It still is.
Oh yeah,
it was a bigger thing. I feel like the new thing that thieves are going after are fire hydrants. So I found a story from KTLA 5, ABC 7, like all the news channels have like gone over it. But yeah, this is like recent news that's gone out in the past day. And
you presenting this? Let me add this to the screen for at home.
So just basic Google search, trying to like follow up and see what's going on it. And so they're saying like they don't really know why. They think it's just for scrap metal, but yeah, they're stealing it, and it's cost the state, or at least the water company, $1.2 million so far.
Wow!
In fire hydrant theft. So I don't know if that includes like parts, labor, like shutting off water being just released. But the thieves are turning off the water to the hydrants, right? And then they go in, they unbolt the hydrant, hit it with their car to knock it off, and then take it with them.
So we need to back up a sec. How are they turning off the water? I thought the whole point was for that to always have a supply of water, because if there's fire, that's the first thing. Well, that's one of the things that the fire department's going to hook into.
I don't know.
And maybe I just don't know enough about fire hydrants. So.
I don't know enough about them either. But they look at this. Nearly 100 fire hydrants in LA County this year. And we're 6 months into the year.
So that is just the county.
That's run about $1.2 million in theft over.
I do want to throw it out there before we forget. We are not condoning that anybody go out there and figure out how to steal a fire hydrant. This is awful. In the grand scheme of things, this is awful because, fire hydrants exist. So fire departments, firefighters have additional resources to help them save lives, people. So don't go knocking over.
They can't put out a fire in your neighborhood because somebody stole the fucking fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to use the fire hydrant and like fill your pool up with it, right? Like stealing city water, like that's a big deal too. But like, we all know somebody that's done it, right? And I feel like
I don't, but maybe you guys do out there in California.
You got to watch out for those firemen, dude. And the fire safety guys, they all know how to use them. So
I guess I have seen them open it up, so it's like just like shooting in the street on a hot day, so kids can play in it. But that's the fire department doing that, not you criminals that are stealing water to fill your pools up. Anyway, I just want to make sure it was out there. We are not condoning the theft of fire hydrants, but it's a funny story. We've all seen
right here, just reading the story. Fire hydrants play a crucial role in ensuring effective fire response and public safety, and their removal can have serious consequences. Rest assured, their top priority is safety and the well-being of the community. And they're fully committed to swiftly resolving this matter. But like, stop stealing fucking fire hydrants, guys.
Yeah, stop stealing. Like, don't steal fire hydrants, people.
Go steal server
There is
racks.
a funny aspect of this that we are
like
kind of focusing on. We've all, JR, you talked about stolen catalytic converters in California. That's actually been an issue in Kansas City. When I lived in Milwaukee, that was an issue. That's been an issue for a long time, even although I've heard about it in Ohio.
Yeah.
And then going back to college days, who didn't know somebody? And I don't know, JR, if this applies to you, because I don't know if I think they cracked down pretty hard on it by your time. But for Alex and me, I know several people that had street signs hanging up in their dorm rooms or their apartments.
My roommate stole a sign because he thought it meant like asshole in Spanish. I don't think it means anything.
Yeah, we've seen stop signs. I actually know a guy today that, the Jeep that he off-roads, his custom skid plate, front skid plate, is a stop sign that's molded to wrap from his bumper down and across to protect the bottom of his motor. So
you can make your own street sign for a way less effort than you can like steal one, to be honest. It's just
I actually think that's
vinyl over sheet metal and cut the sheet metal.
I actually think that's what he did. It just looks funny because he made it look like a stop sign. Because it's that, or it's something he had from all the way back from college days. So it may be that, but yeah, kind of funny. One of those things. It's just odd. It's odd news, and we started talking about it and thought it might be fun to make mention of on this week's episode. But
I thought that was a good one.
As somewhat humorous as it is, don't be going out there stealing fire hydrants and making it harder for firefighters to help families save their homes and save lives. So just want to put that out there. Yeah, kind of a weird one. So another one I had was, and I forgot to create a little banner for it, but we're just going to keep it part of weird news. Have you guys? So again, I'm traveling this week, so eating out is kind of what I'm doing, right? And if I can't find somewhere unique to eat, to try, like a little more local, sometimes I just want to get my food after the gym and come back to the hotel and eat. So today I mentioned I went to Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A has a new menu item that I was unaware of. They have a cheese sauce now. Did you guys know this?
Nope, that's new.
It's kind of delicious. I mean, it's basically like a queso blanco, white queso dip, or just cheese sauce. And yeah, I got it for my fries, and I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to be doing it again.
Like, got like jalapenos and stuff in it, or?
No, it's not. It's not a true queso. They call it a cheese sauce, but it's like a white cheddar cheese sauce, almost like consistency of nacho cheese, but it's like a white cheddar instead of that yellow nacho-y cheese.
So I just want to be clear though, for our viewers, as numerous as they are in like every other state than like the Midwest states, right? So in the Midwest, man, they love their queso. That is like a big thing. It is like in California, they love their guacamole and their avocados. The Midwest, it's all about their queso. That's like the equivalent. So
Midwest, we do like
deal. This is a really
in the Midwest, we do like queso and deep fried food.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But yeah, the cheese sauce, I will admit, is pretty good. I enjoyed it. So.
Do you put it on your sandwich also, or are you just dipping your fries in it?
I just dip my fries in it because I had a spicy chicken deluxe. So it already has pepper jack on it, less tomato, and then I dipped that one in ranch sauce. But I think I might just try a normal or even a grilled chicken sandwich and dip that in the queso, and I think or the cheese sauce, I should say. I think it could be pretty good. And I'm starting off with Chick-fil-A, and the reason it made me think of that as part of weird news is because I'm starting to see some like strange menu items on, the fast food menus that we have all known for years. For instance, I just got a new phone recently and had to reload my Taco Bell app, and the first thing that popped up is, I guess, Taco Bell, so we've all seen like the Doritos Locos Tacos.
Yep.
Apparently they now have a couple of items where they partnered with Cheez-It crackers. So one of them is instead of a tostada shell, it's a big ass Cheez-It cracker. And I think there's two other items. I already forgot what they are, but
I don't know if I'm into that.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna be into it. But I think I'm going to try it.
Crunchwrap Supreme and big
there you go.
Tostada.
Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme. That's what it was.
It's a giant Cheez-It.
Yeah.
Instead of a tostada shell, they put a giant Cheez-It. And
JR, pull up a picture and I'll share it.
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
This is
too good.
It looks so stupid, but I am probably going to try it at some point. Just because. Look at this thing.
So, think big. Introducing the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Big Cheez-It Tostada. So,
there you go.
It looks like, a Crunchwrap Supreme at the top. And then they give you the TLDR. They have a big press release. That looks pretty fancy. Look at this, dude.
It's a big ass Cheez-It cracker in the middle of your Crunchwrap Supreme.
Look.
I'm with Alex. I'm not into it, except for I'm curious enough that I will probably try it next time I go to Taco Bell.
I need to hear people talk about it before I invest in that type.
Yeah,
of,
you remember the hype around the chicken sandwich for Popeyes? Lots of people were talking about that.
Well,
I never had that because I didn't want to wait in line.
Yeah, I didn't have it when it first came out because I'm like, it's good. I don't think it's going anywhere. They've always had a chicken sandwich. They apparently just changed the chicken a little bit. It is a good sandwich, but I'm glad I didn't wait in those hour-long lines. If anything, I was more like, oh, cool. The line at Chick-fil-A is shorter because I like Chick-fil-A too. So.
Well, that's freaking.
Cheez-Its, baby. Cheez-Its and Taco Bell. I won't be rushing out to go try it, but at some point, especially traveling this week and next week, there's
You're gonna end up
a reasonable possibility that I will end up giving in and going to Taco Bell. And when I do, I will probably try one of these. It'll probably be the Crunchwrap Supreme.
You should get the big Cheez-It box for $8.99. You get the big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme, a beefy 5-layer burrito, regular size nacho fries. You get the nacho fries with the cheese sauce and a medium fountain drink. That's.
I might try it. That might be my dinner one night.
I mean, when you look at it and be like, well, the freaking Crunchwrap Supreme itself is $5.50 pretty much.
Yeah.
For another like.
I passed. So the hotel I'm staying at down here, I've been going to. I have a Planet Fitness membership for exactly these occasions when I'm traveling, and I pass 2 Taco Bells on the way to and from the gym. In addition to the one that it's in the opposite direction, but it's less than a mile away from my hotel. So it wouldn't be hard to give me some Taco Bell and try a Cheez-Its Crunchwrap Burrito Supreme deal.
The Planet, that bitch, that fucking 40,000 calories off right there.
Yeah, whatever you do at the gym, it's gonna be wasted. Don't even bother going to the gym.
I know, right? I did fast this morning, so that helps, I guess. But no, yeah, I don't know if I'll really try it. The goal is to not eat fast food, but when you're on the road for 2 weeks, when you're away from home for 2 weeks, it's hard to not do it at least a little bit. So yeah, it'll probably be. Hopefully, it'll be a day where I skip breakfast, I skip lunch, and then just have it for dinner after I work out. And then that's just my calories for the day. But yeah,
I can't stand these fast food prices, man. They're like,
oh, dude,
your meal's $10. It starts at $10, and you don't fill up until you spend $20.
You know, we've been having that conversation a lot lately, Ashley and me. Like, why even go to fast food anymore? Because to Jared's point, it's as much as going to even like if you just want to go to like Chili's or Applebee's, you might as well. You're gonna eat healthier.
Yeah,
you're gonna eat better, and you're gonna spend the same amount of money. The only difference is the time, right? So,
dude, I was looking. There's a place called Norms, I think it is, in either Costa Mesa or Newport Beach, and it's like a
Costa Mesa.
Costa Mesa.
Harbor.
They have a New York strip breakfast. It's like the eggs and the hash browns, toast, whatever.
Awesome.
And it's like $15.99 or $16.99. And so you get, and it's like a 8-ounce piece of meat. So you get your 8-ounce steak, you get like 2 eggs, some bacon or sausage, hash browns, and a piece of toast. And you get a water, and you spent the same amount if you go to fucking Del Taco or Taco Bell or like wherever, and you get steak in it. Like, are you kidding me? And for an extra, how much you're gonna tip? Like, maybe $4 tip. So round it up to 20. You spent the same amount of money after tax and everything, anyways.
Yeah, and it's
actually, I think
way
I got
more
that.
worth it.
I think I got that with Uber Eats when we were still in lockdown because I was just trying everything.
Oh, nice.
Around that time, I was like, let's get Norms. Let's get a steak. I'm pretty sure it was decent. I don't remember it blowing me away, but
yeah, it's not going to be like the best steak you've ever had, but I mean, it's going to be better than Taco Bell.
It's going to be
better than Chick-fil-A.
It's gonna taste better. It's gonna be not nearly as terrible for you health wise, and you're spending the same amount of money.
The like Chipotle thing that everybody's like taking their freaking camera in with them now when they go to Chipotle.
I saw that.
To like record how much they're putting in their food. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah,
weird news. What about that?
Hard on that,
dude. There was a guy who took a full on like old school like movie camera in with him. He was like resting on his shoulder, pointing it in. I think the guy making us burrito. Like the people are just taking this really seriously.
Well, yeah, and it's so I believe it's Coca-Cola is the company that owns Chipotle. And honestly, they're following suit with what everybody else is doing anyway, especially with inflation. That's their way of maintaining current prices.
They call that shrinkflation.
Yeah. They're going smaller portions. McDonald's has admitted to it. All the toilet paper companies even admitted to it.
That's not
like
cool.
Charmin. They don't want to change the price of toilet paper, so what they did is they made the rolls less.
Or like the thing when you scroll through and you see what they're doing at Walmart when you buy meat or like food or something at like grocery stores too, where it's like it weighs out, it's like 12 ounces, but really they give you like 7.
I haven't seen that, but
you haven't seen that where you take your actual food with the packaging and you weigh it, and it's like a little over half of what it weighs a little over half of what it says it weighs.
And then they go, well, sir, you need to weigh it with the plastic wrap and the styrofoam thingy.
And put your phone on top.
Put your phone on top. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We've Ashley and I have talked about that a few times. Like, why even go to fast food? It's not worth it anymore because it costs just as much as a good meal from Chili's, Applebee's, wherever you want to go, you know. Local restaurants tend to be cheaper, especially like local. So I'm sure it's the same out there in California, but Kansas City, you know, there's some legit like family-owned little taco shops. Like, JR, you remember San Antonio Taqueria and Mercado? Oh, dude, those tacos, they're street style tacos. Man, I could go in there for lunch. I could get, even today, they haven't changed the size because all the tortillas are homemade and everything's prepared in-house. Even today, I can still get 4 delicious tacos and a Mexican Coke for like $10. I think that total might have gone up maybe $1 to $2 in the last 5 years. But they haven't changed sizes. They haven't changed portions. It's the same product. It's just as delicious. But they haven't really gouged their customers on price increases with inflation. So good for them. They're going to keep getting my business. So
I like going. Yeah. We have like our shopping centers out here. You go into one shopping center. There's 3 Mexican restaurants, 2 Chinese restaurants, and a freaking I don't know, like a laundromat. Like I went down the street over here. I went over to Tustin to get some Chinese food because this place, China West Express, just makes super fire like everything. So I go over there, get myself something for like a reasonable amount of money, and I look next door and there's a Mexican place right here, and there's a Mexican place over here.
there's a lot of
Chinese place in the middle.
I'm actually, when I go around, I see a new restaurant opening up. I'm like, please don't be Mexican. And then chances are, 9 times out of 10, it's a Mexican restaurant. Which is across the street from another Mexican restaurant, which is next door to another Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. You guys probably know this to some extent. Like, I love mom and pop shops, diners. Obviously, a lot of mom and pop, like taquerias, Cuban sandwich places, anything. I don't care what it is. Even like a little Italian diners. And really, when I think about it, like my love for those places is just growing because, quite frankly, they're less expensive than fast food joints, and their food is so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. Like it's amazing that more people don't think that way. And quite frankly, they're just as fast as the fast food joints. So when time is an issue, right? People go to fast food joints because they need something quick. Man, a lot of those mom and pop joints, they can get food together very quickly, very cheaply. Well, at a much lower cost to their customers than their customers could get from even McDonald's. So like it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you know where they are and that's where you go, like no-brainer to go to those places. And
you can start putting their food in greasy wrappers so you can eat it while driving.
Who does?
Those mom and pop places.
Oh yeah, well so does McDonald's.
They should offer to put them in greasy wrappers just so you get the
The
benefits
fix?
of driving.
I will say those are, not many of those joints are. The food is not handed to you in a fashion where you can eat it. At least in my experience, where I could eat it while driving. That's when I do go to McDonald's or Burger King. I don't even do well. If I go Taco Bell, it's all soft tacos. But that's the only time like fast food joints is kind of the way to go for me. Is when I'm traveling and I don't want to stop. So stop for gas, get a couple of McDoubles, and keep driving.
McDoubles only have one slice of cheese.
Yeah, versus the double cheeseburger.
Yep.
Yeah, it took me forever to figure that out.
For a slice of cheese.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Man, I still remember when the double cheeseburgers were 99 cents.
Oh yeah, those are the days.
That was awesome.
$5 footlongs. That's all I see. My Instagram feed, that's all I see is like
footlongs.
all these little news things about like what they used to cost versus what it is now, or like Costco even like what it costed last year or in 2020 versus like what it costs now. And it's like they're talking about inflation, how it's this much, more to live. And it's like, no, it's double. It is more than double. So in some places, it's like 250 to 500% more.
I don't have any verification of this, but I imagine a lot of those companies, especially like the big national brands and even international brands, they somehow use inflation to increase their profit margins. They made all these excuses like they want to keep pricing the same for their customers. So instead of raising the prices because of inflation, they're going to reduce the size or what they deliver product-wise. Well, prices have come down, but prices of resources have come down, but the prices of their products has not come back down. And that is garbage. Anyway, weird news. Alex, you got any weird news?
Announced yesterday, Twitter is going to officially allow pornography. So,
what?
What?
Twitter is replacing Pornhub.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, how? So interesting that you bring this up because I may or may not have read somewhere that Pornhub is basically just discontinued their website for the time being because of I don't know what you call it, bills or laws being passed that are requiring them to collect more information from their website customers or the website visitors.
It's not discontinued. I have sources that know that it's not discontinued.
No, you have to. So you have to provide. Yeah, it's.
I won't give out who the sources are.
I won't tell you how I found out.
But it does ask if you're 18 or older when you go to the website.
It did. So as of this morning, and I'm not going to tell you how I know that. They need more than that. So you have to actually log in. You have to create an account and give all sorts of information.
Ain't no one doing that.
Huh? Hell no. No.
That was actually a joke on Rick and Morty one time where Rick goes, "Why do you have a Pornhub account?" And he signed into it. He goes, "Hey, it saves all your preferences."
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But yeah, like not me, my friend already doesn't trust incognito mode when he visits Pornhub. But he likes Pornhub enough that he'll risk it.
Well, apparently they collect way more data than companies like Netflix or Hulu already.
Well, they have to now.
Out the gate.
Yeah, because they have to verify age. So, what they're pushing for, the way I saw it was, they only really want to verify device and location so that they can, make sure that it's legal, right? Legal wherever that device is streaming their content, and that the owner of the device is old enough to view a pornographic website. In other words, at least 18 years old. So, and I'm okay with that. Because then basically what they're saying is by doing that, they don't need all that additional information that, quite frankly, is unnecessary. And their point is it also makes it less safe for families and children, because children are going to lie about stuff. They're going to put stuff on there, and it's going to be traceable back to them. So, I don't know. They're asking for a lot of info that I would agree is not all that necessary.
I have an article up that says, "Here's how much Pornhub knows about you." It's from 2019. So this is from 5 years ago. And you want me to put this one up? This one might be worth looking at. Yeah. 5 years ago news, whatever. But, if they knew this much then, they know even more now. So it goes through and just says, it's from Vice.
MindGeek.
They have a lot of data.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
They know everything about you. They know your gender. They know, your age. They know.
They turn on your camera.
Yeah, they watch you while you watch them. They listen to you while you listen to them.
Well, it's not like they don't already know what I'm doing, so. My friend, they don't know what my friend's doing, so. All those sites. It's not, let's just face it, it's not just Pornhub, right? Think about how much information you put into frickin' Amazon.
Yeah. But there's more money flowing through the porn industry than there is most things on the internet, right? Amazon being its own animal. So.
Right. Oh, gosh. It's funny how much the porn industry has driven certain innovations, right? For instance, we're going to go pretty far back, but remember when the two competing media platforms was Betamax versus VHS? Betamax had the better picture quality. It was more compact too, but VHS went out because of the porn industry. The porn industry drove that. Same thing with, I believe, DVD versus Laserdisc. I mean, DVD made more sense anyway. It was digital and it was more compact.
Well, there's Blu-ray versus HD DVD.
Yeah,
that was
Blu-ray
going to be the
HD.
next one: Blu-ray versus HD DVD. I mean, like, people don't realize that the porn industry drove that.
Well, now there's 4K for the best clarity.
Yeah.
In human history.
Oh, I mean, streaming content. The porn industry
Pioneered streaming.
The porn industry offered streaming content before Netflix and Prime Video and maybe for the porn industry and YouTube. But yeah, I mean, streaming content that was driven in large part by the porn industry. And quite frankly, when you talk about the porn industry, ethics comes into play, but you know who's way worse in the porn industry? Diddy. And Epstein, but right now it's Diddy.
Is he back in the States yet? Where is he on the?
I have
what
no
is he
idea.
doing?
He's from San Diego. No one can find him.
I thought he was in like the Cayman Islands or some non-extradition country.
I saw him giving a hug or whatever to what's his name? Justin Bieber.
Like
people out there
recently
showing
or
support for him. Yeah, recently.
like
When he was a kid.
Justin Bieber was a kid.
No, this is recent.
Justin Bieber was a kid seeing things at Diddy's house that no 13-year-old should be allowed to see.
Sorry, I'm not trying to steer the conversation into did he diddle?
Did he diddle Bieber?
I can't believe there haven't been more questions about that, quite frankly. Hey, it's the 13th, and we have a new podcast. With it being the 13th
episode,
I'm switching gears here a little bit. What do you guys have any superstitions that you guys tend to stick with, whether it's during sports, Alex, when you're training, work, whatever, when you get in the car in the morning? What superstitions are we living with still?
Sports, it's going to be a lot. It could be. It's not something that you live with throughout the years. It just depends on what you observe. I've been known to put on a jersey, and then if my team's not playing well, I'll switch the jersey to another player and then switch back. Or I'll have 3 jerseys laid out on a chair, and then depending on how the team's playing, I'll move those jerseys around like it's some fucking feng shui shit.
Your room is very feng shui.
Yeah.
I've been at bars where I take what's in my left pocket and switch it with what's in my right pocket.
Wow. Okay.
I've been with friends where they had a newborn and they were changing the baby's diaper, and someone said, "Wait, no, we need that diaper. Don't change it yet."
Weird. What about you, Jar? What superstitions do you still subscribe to?
Overly superstitious about anything. I mean, I don't step on cracks for no apparent reason. I just don't. It's not to have anything to do with anything anymore.
Yeah, but it probably started out as a superstition, or am I right or no?
Started out as more of a game. Because remember when your foot was small enough to fit inside of the smaller tiles when you would walk around?
Oh yeah, okay. Start tiptoeing through them. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So every once in a while, I still tiptoe through the tiles just because, not for any good reason.
How about when you played hockey?
I'm not superstitious, but I have things that I'm more worried about now than I used to be. like sharks, for example, like going into the ocean.
I don't go in the water anymore.
And jellyfish. Yeah, like I used to go in, not giving a fuck, just swim around, jump around, splash around. And like the past couple times when I've gone into the water, the amount of things I feel touch me, like seaweed or like whatever's rubbing on. I swear I have had like fish just like
start flailing. Like, what is that? What is that?
But like, I'm just constantly like looking around now, like knowing, dude, the more you know, the more you just worry about things.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
so
education is like the bane of my existence. It's supposed to help people, not like make them just worried and give them anxiety. Shit.
Dude, so when we were in Costa Rica, we were playing in the ocean water, and I saw a little baby, like tiny, a stingray go by. Mm-hmm. So a little stingray. I mean, it was a small one. Like I'd say diameter wise, it was probably no more than like a foot total.
Yeah.
If even that. But to your point, I get a little superstitious as far as like, okay, I've seen it, so there must be more, and I don't want to step on one and get stung in the foot or whatever. So I stayed in the way, and this was like when I was in waist deep water.
Yeah.
I kind of started slowly moving back. Yeah, I started, and by the way, I saw all kinds of fish, like small schools of fish swimming around, especially when the tide would come in. You'd see them, and then when they come out, they would just go back out with the tide. But once I saw that stingray, I kind of stayed in the knee-deep water for a while so I could see what was going on.
Okay, so at least there you can see in the water. Out here, it's just a guess and a gamble. Like, you know it's there. You're in their environment, their house, right? But, like, if you've seen the drone footage of just, like, people flying their drones around, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the thing is if you're out surfing and somebody drops a drone, like, right on top of you, you're supposed to be worried that there's a shark around you. Because that's what they're... Like, if you go on the YouTube channels and follow the guys that do these videos, when there's a shark there, they drop the drone down and they stop doing this, like, way up high aerial footage. They come down. And it's just with the sharks have always been breeding. I've been out surfing when there's been a great white down in San Onofre in between me and shore. Like, you see them, right? Like, and there's the stories about them being there are just like, that's where they breed. So, you know, they're there. They're just not as aggressive as everybody makes them out to be, right?
I've never seen one, but the last time before this trip, I was in the ocean, like actually swimming in the ocean to where I was like wading the water, was when I was in San Diego with Alex and our buddy, one of my best friends, Dave. I remember, you can't see anything, but we saw, like, in the distance, you could see dolphins jumping out of the water. And I remember thinking, especially because we've all watched Shark Week, it's fun to watch, but in watching their drone footage, people just hanging out in the ocean, and from the drone, you see the sharks just kind of swimming through everything. I always wondered, like, I wonder how close I've been to a shark in the wild. Like, probably multiple times, yeah.
That's
not even living near the ocean like you guys do.
I've had a dolphin come up like less than 5 feet away from me while I was swimming, and it just goes like this. And when you're like younger, you're just like, just staying at the same level versus this, it doesn't even comprehend. You just don't. That doesn't calculate in your brain. You're just like, fin, shark, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
like.
I see a fin. I don't know what it is yet. So it's got to be a shark.
Yeah.
It's got to be a shark that wants to eat me. Yeah, totally get that. Jellyfish scare the shit out of me too.
Yeah, especially with these things that have been blown in with the wind. They're not jellyfish, but they can't swim or do anything on their own. They're like these jelly-looking things with sails on them. They're really small. And they've all washed up on shore and stuff, but when the tide and the winds change in the ocean, they come in, right, with the Santa Ana winds. And
well, they don't. Can they sting you to the point where you have to have somebody pee on your leg?
They don't. They're not harmful to people. Like they contain like a small amount of venom or something like that inside of them.
Yeah,
or
jellyfish can hurt you,
but they don't. It doesn't. I imagine if you're like in a bunch of them, like maybe it would do some damage to you a little bit, but. You're supposed to be able to like pick them up and stuff.
Gotcha.
But I mean, you touch something squishy in the ocean, and what do you think it is?
Shark.
Or no, jellyfish.
Or jellyfish, yeah.
Jellyfish.
Squishy, yeah. But a fish I saw this last week was a blowfish when I was snorkeling, and I thought it was like swimming near me, and I'll be honest, I didn't freak out, but I kind of got into a position where I could move away because I would just want to get out of its way. Because blowfish have like an oil that's toxic to humans, I guess. That can do some damage, so... Anyway.
Before you go snorkeling on Costa Mesa, not Costa Mesa, Costa Rica. Costa Mesa is right here. Before you go snorkeling out in Costa Rica, did they brief you on like, hey, watch out for this type of creature? Or are they just like,
they'll give you like, yeah, kind of a short list of things that you might see. Yeah, we saw a decent amount of fish, and it wasn't even a good snorkeling day. So I can't wait to go back out there when it's like really clear, because it had stormed really bad the night before, so the water was still relatively murky compared to how clear it usually is down there. But we still saw some stuff. I saw a couple of blowfish, saw a few bluefish that looked like the fish from like Finding Nemo. I saw a sea urchin stuck to the rocks. But yeah, it's cool. I was looking for a stingray, and I was looking for something bigger than stingray because I was like, I tried to make sure I knew where everybody was in relation to where I was, because figure a shark coming, I just need to get past one person and then I'm good. Kind of like if a bear's chasing you, you don't need to be the fastest, you just need to not be the slowest, right?
So just here, let me show you this one real quick. This is how fast a fish can. Well, you'll see the video.
Oh, this guy's getting fucked up, isn't he?
So, dude jumps in the water. Nothing happening. Watch how fast this barracuda goes at him.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Okay, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bite him or anything.
No, but that still freaks you out when you see it because you don't know.
But when people say that like mako sharks swim at 60 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, or like barracuda swim at like 35 to 40 or burst at 40 miles an hour, like 40 miles an hour underwater is fast as fuck.
Like, yeah, we're not meant to be in that. In their
we weren't built for that.
We're not meant for that place.
So
here's how you can tell.
I want you to know that.
I'm just saying, videos like that is what gives me like that the more you know mentality about like, I don't really know if I want
100%. 100%.
Plus that water's dirty as shit, dude. There's so much bacteria in there.
Oh, and the
here's
water.
The thing,
right
here's how you think about that. We weren't built for water like true sea creatures are built. Get in a waist deep water pool or waist deep water in a pool and run across to the other side of the pool. Like, that's just waist deep. Like, how fast are you moving? Not very fast, you know? And if you're a good swimmer, swim it. And time, how long it takes you. Like, think about world record times in Olympic swimming pools. And, like, how many laps they had to do it. And then think about how the slowest fish in the ocean how fast they could cover that distance, you know? So... I'm not really sure how we ended up there from superstitions, but that was kind of fun. Kind of a fun one. So yeah, we did a few categories, went on a few tangents, but we delivered another episode. Episode number 13. Got through it. If you are out there, give us a wave or leave us a note in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to shout you out. And if you have any suggestions, put those in there too, because we want to have fun with this and we want it to be entertaining for you. So if there's any topics you want us to cover, put it out there and we'll do a little reading up and we'll talk about it. Eventually we're going to get to a point where we'd love to start inviting some of you on to join us and talk about those topics, because hopefully I imagine a lot of you would be, whatever that topic may be, you'll probably bring a lot more expertise than the three of us have combined. So we want to hear from you. But yeah, then we're going to call it there, guys. We're at just about an hour. This has been another episode of the GAJ Podcast. If you are enjoying what we are attempting to do, hit that like button. We'd love to hear from you. If you are our coveted 10th subscriber, please put something in the comments, even if it's just a waving emoji, because we'd love to shout out our 10th subscriber. I think that would be really exciting for all of us and hopefully all of our listener. And if you really want to know when we're doing things, hit that notification bell so that you are notified when we are releasing another episode. But until then, I need to go to sleep because I got to get to work in the morning, and I think we all have things to do. We're going to call it. This has been yet another episode of the GAJ Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. We will see you next week. Adios, everybody. Oh man, hold on. Let me play the music. Let me play music while Alex throws stuff at the TV. I mean, at the camera. Yeah. All right. I like my exit music. Again, GAJ Podcast. Love you guys. See you next week.